We were talking about preconceived notions and ideas. You know, I think the media for so long has, I don't want to say stereotype, but decided what is pleasant, what is acceptable. And see, when I watch your choreography downstairs, and the fact that you're using a Russian composer to tell a story that about Edward's home and immigration and all of these things that apply to everyone who's ever come to America in one form or another.
Exactly.
And just the style of your movement, there's a weight and a fall and a recovery, and then just the way you move the dancers doesn't necessarily, that in itself, that is not a culture. That is you. That's what I'm saying. That is you.
That's correct.
And what you have decided to do is take that beauty, that style then, and tell these wonderful stories.
That's correct. That's correct. Because I am part of the culture. I think that's enough. That we have Latin choreographers or Latino choreographers or descents coming in and creating work is what's important to me. And it's who they are. And what does it mean? Because who they are is actually who everybody else is out there. And those representations, those folkloric representations are fabulous. They're wonderful. I can sit through any kind of folkloric performance. But there has to be an alternate. There has to be, because we don't live in the folklore. We don't walk around, you know, singing boleros, nor are we walking around singing spirituals, carrying umbrellas. We just don't do it. You know, so what is the representation of this hybridness that we've become, or that we're becoming while we're still celebrating? I think the celebrating is in that there is a place for Latino choreographers to come in and create the work that they've always to be artists. And that whole idea about there's always going to be this other that chooses. I've heard it called the tastemakers, I've heard it called, you know, critics, I've heard it called, there's always going to be that they choose. It's an opinion. And you know that whole saying about opinions,
yes,
right? And funny enough, you know, I keep hearing this thing from, can I talk about critics?
Please do. I mean, this is what
I keep hearing this, I keep reading and hearing it's the same thing. So what about dance? Where are you taking it now? Well, what do you mean? Are you expecting that we're always coming up with, you know, moving away from? We want to dance. It's dance. You don't want to move away from it. You want to develop it and create it. And so I feel that there's a whole big thing about where are you taking dance next to. I understand what it means. I'm, you know, but there are original voices speaking for themselves and giving their stories. And we come from cultures that are non-European, that love stories, that need to have our stories. And we need those places. There's a place for everything.